Once again from Miami, Florida, it's time for Braves baseball. Tonight, it's raining outside. The roof is covering inside action as Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves try to win game number 3 of this series and win 2 out of 3 so far here at Marlins Park. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Rough night for the Braves bats last night. Dan Straley and the Miami Bullpen tamed Atlanta to even the series at a game apiece. Tonight in game 3, it's another day, another left-hander, Joe. It'll be 6 lefties out of the last 7 games played for the Braves on this road trip back in Atlanta.
Well, the Braves have had some pretty good luck against them. All in all, they're 6-3 against left-handed starters. And against left-handed pitching in general, the Braves National League ranks first in average and second in slugging percentage. The switch hitters have done their job, and the 2 left-handers, including Freeman and Markakis, especially in the middle of the order, have really handled left-hand pitching just fine. So let's hope that continues this evening against Harlan Garcia of the Marlins.
He's a tough customer. So lefty, righty doesn't seem to matter to Freddie Freeman and the boys. We asked him about this quirk in the schedule for Atlanta here in the early days of May.
You know, we noticed it. We obviously knew we didn't face a lot of lefties early on in the season, but you don't really get a string of this many lefties. But, you know, we've had some success against lefties this year so far, so hopefully we can continue that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just seeing a lot of lefty now. I'm just trying to get my right side going and put that barrel on the ball.
You know, we still got to play a game. We still got to go up there and have good at-bats. You know, we kind of got off the hook early as far as left-handed hitters in the season. We faced a bunch of righties and very limited lefties unless they were out of the pen. But, you know, it's catching up now. We're, you know, it's almost like alternating right-left in the past and here in the future, too.
So it doesn't bother Nick Markakis, Ozzie Albies, or Freddie Freeman. Hopefully it won't bother the rest of the Braves as well. And hopefully Miami Joe is bothered by Mike Soroka, who's got the ball in game 3 today.
Well, we're all anxious to see Mike Soroka bounce back and pitch like he did in that opener against the Mets. Hopefully tonight he will.
Starting lineups, first pitch from Miami coming right up.
The Georgia Lottery. Welcome to Miami, everybody. Braves, Marlins in a 4-game set. They're knotted up at 1 apiece. Well, Mike Soroka, the 20-year-old Canadian big-time right-hander up in the big leagues. He's got 2 starts. His first start was very, very good. His second start, he struggled. This game is a game of makeup. You have to bounce back. You have to be able to critique yourself, handle failure. So as you can see, there was 2 different starts. Now, there's not a lot of time, so I had to go to him and find out, Mike, what was the difference in game 1, game 2? Give me an assessment. Here's his thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to attack. I think last time out we got a little too perfect at times, just trying to make the perfect pitch, and I think that, you know, I got to let myself ride right now. So I think that me not seeing them and them not seeing me either, that can play into my hands. I just got to go out there to dominate every pitch like I have throughout the majority of my career.
That's our 28th pick in the first round of the 2015 MLB draft. Great job, Brave Scouts. I love this guy's makeup. I love his stuff. I'm ready to watch him bounce back and compete tonight. Braves Marlins coming up next.
Raining outside, heavy thunder showers expected here tomorrow, so it figures that the next 2 days we'll be playing under the roof here in Miami, where the Braves and Marlins have so far split the first 2 games of this series. Atlanta dropped a 6-3 decision last night, mustered just 3 runs, 5 hits against Dan Straley and 4 Marlins relievers. Hopefully better tidings to come in game 3. Brian Snitker has his Toyota starting lineup with Jose Bautista in there in third base against the left-handed pitcher. Tyler Flowers gets a start. Mike Soroka on the hill. And Harlan Garcia has been a tremendous find, Joe, for Miami in rotation so far this year.
I'm anxious to see him pitch, Chip. He's 25 years old, 6'3", a solid 215 out of the Dominican Republic. Take a look at these numbers at home. He has no record but an 0.50 ERA and just a 1.05 average against him. At home, 18 innings. He's allowed only 1 run. He's walked 5 and struck out 12. His fastball sits in the low to mid-90s with a slider and a changeup. His changeup is the pitch. Hitters off the changeup, just 6 for 44 against it this year when they do swing it's a mighty good one.
So a battle of two starting pitchers whose opponent hasn't seen them much, if at all. The Braves have seen Garcia in relief. And as we've said, this is now the 6th game out of the last 7 where the Braves have seen a lefty. Does that give Atlanta's offense any kind of advantage against a man that's pitching so well for Miami tonight?
I think it does. I just think the recognition of seeing where the ball's coming out of his hand will help the Braves. It certainly would be a better asset for them than it will be for the Marlins against Soroka, whom they've also never seen before.
So we're about to get started here with Harlan Garcia. Ozzie Albies leads in with an 8-game hitting streak. And the first of the night is on the way. A little tapper hit toward third. Prado fields and fires to first. 1 pitch and 1 man out. Garcia made 68 appearances out of the bullpen last year, but apparently, Joe, his stuff for some of the Marlins baseball people said, wait a minute, why are we wasting this guy in the pen? We need starting pitching. Let's see how he does.
That was the need part of it. They needed a starting pitcher or 2, and this guy certainly has filled the bill so far. He's coming off a bad start against the Cubs, but everything before that was really good.
Here's Ronald Acuna. And Ronald in that first stretch of a rookie's season where things are a bit of a struggle at the plate for him. Sharply hit right into the shift. And that'll make him 4 for his last 29 at the plate and 2 for his last 17. And very quickly, on 3 pitches, the Braves have made 2 outs here in the top of the first.
But you'd much rather see Acuna hitting the ball like that than the pop-ups. And he's had a lot of strikeouts, too. 8 of them in his last 28 at-bats coming in.
Freddie Freeman, first pitch, unloads deep toward right center field, and that's a home run. Wow.
How does he do that?
I don't know. There have been 4 pitches thrown in this game, and Atlanta has the lead, and Freeman's the 3rd hitter of the inning.
He hit that off the facing of the second deck, well above the 382 mark. A no-doubter. Anderson barely moved. It's 392, not 382.
Yowzers, 1-0 Atlanta on a 2-out homer for Freeman. Again, Joe, the Braves scoring a ton of runs with 2 outs. That was their 100th 2-out run this year.
He just kind of shows up and swings and things like that happen. Amazing.
So the Braves have scored 13 runs in this series. 12 of the 13 have come with 2 out. That'll work.
Yeah, well, left-handers against Garcia were 2 for 21, no homers. But he's got his work cut out for him because of the way the Braves have swung the bat against lefties so far on the year. As we told you, the best average against lefties of any team.
So Atlanta with its 37th first inning run this year. This is their 38th game. The 1-2 pitch for Markakis is caught on and missed, and that retires the side. Freddie Freeman's first pitch seen ended up about 425 feet away in right center field. 1-0 Braves after a half inning here in Miami. home run with 2 outs. That gives Mike Soroka a first-inning lead to play with.
4 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks. That's part of what his Fort keys are tonight. The walks. He walked 2 of the first 4 batters he faced in that game and 3 of the first 11. His Fort keys, walks, cut down on him. Miami is last in the league in walks. They don't walk much, so don't give them a chance. And the rest I'll get to in a second. Leadoff batters in those 4 innings, 4 for 4 and reaching base. Last night, the same problem affected Brandon McCarthy. Leadoff men were getting on. In his good start in New York, they were only 1 for 6 against him.
Realmuto didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. I loved Mike's interview with Paul Byrd before the game when Paul asked him, what did you learn about start 2 that you hope to take into start 3? And he said, I'm going into attack mode. Mike felt he was a little too fine, tried to make perfect pitches. The Giants were very patient, waited him out, and that's
I think that was very obvious too, Chip, because they got good counts to hit in also.
Realmuto, an 8-game home hitting streak at .325 overall, and he just struck out on a nasty pitch on the inside corner. And a good start for Soroka, 1 up, 1 down.
Look, a front door breaking ball. Target's away, but the pitch was inside and frozen.
So JT Realmuto, who was a real pest last night, reaching base 4 times, is set down. Now Martin Prado batting second on the Marlins Toyota starting 9. Martin at 143 on the year. He's got a couple of hits in the series. Glad Martin's back and starting to play a little better and that he's healthy. Game needs more guys like Martin Prado, who's knocked in 3 runs this year. And pop fly foul, even count, a ball and a strike.
Started him with a couple of 93 fastballs.
And that one split the plate.
They get 3 in a row.
Marlins hitting .228 as a team. They've been outscored by 72 runs in their first 38 games. And they have the toughest remaining schedule in Major League Baseball. Braves are trying to add to their miseries tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And served off to our right. Look at that shot of Mike. He looks like he's 12 years old, doesn't he?
Sure does.
He's not far from it. He's only 20. And the 2-2. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Again, Mike said, I've got weapons and I'm going to use them. And he's used them against Prado and Realmuto beautifully. 2 up, 2 down.
Took a little off of that breaking ball. Martin very fooled on it. Has a long look out.
Starlin Castro's the batter. The Marlins second baseman has a hit. That hit a 5th inning homer that came in game 2. And downstairs, ball 1. Now you get to the portion of the lineup for Miami that, as Joe said, doesn't walk much but will strike out a lot. Castro's done that too. He's sitting on 29 punch-outs this year. And takes ball 2.
By comparison to most major league hitters too, he stands up in the front of the box a lot more than most. A little closer to the pitcher. That can in some ways help you on a breaking ball. Try to get it before it breaks. Or in some cases breaks away from you and you can't reach it.
Soroka ready now with his 2-1 pitch. Little roller hit toward Bautista at third. Jose with a bare hand throws on the run and too late. Starlin Castro legs out an infield hit.
Boy, Jose got a late start on that one. I don't know if he didn't see it off the plate. Nice effort barehanded, but got a late start on it, charging it.
So here's Justin Bour. Bour's been a very patient hitter. He's had 4 consecutive games where he's walked 2 or more times. Interesting too that so far in this series Bour hasn't knocked in a run. Last year against the Braves he did not have back-to-back games without an RBI against the Atlanta staff. Man has tremendous power. 7 homers, 6 of them with 2 outs. And in for a strike. It's 1-1.
If you've never seen him play before, he loves the ball down. He loves the ball down and in especially. Tremendously strong.
Look for something else there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looks like Mike's fastball is surprising the Marlins here early. Lined over second. That'll get down for a base hit. Castro around second. Braves will concede the base. They've got runners at the corners with 2 out. There's that strength of Justin Bour.
It was not a fastball. It was just something, a cutter that stayed right in the middle of the plate. Looked like Flowers wanted something down and in, and it wasn't.
So Soroka with some 2-out trouble. Faces Brian Anderson, the Marlins right fielder.
The best part about that pitch to Bour is that it stayed in the ballpark. It was in no man's land there.
Anderson with a couple of homers. He's knocked in 18. He's reached base in 8 straight games. And that's off the plate, ball 1.
I was watching him take batting practice today too, and he's got a nice easy swing, and he was peppering that eyesore out there in left center field. Good pitch.
But not called a strike. 2-0. Mike Winters has the plate tonight. 2 strikeouts start of the inning, an infield hit and a soft single to right by Bour has Miami set up. As Anderson ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Line toward left. Acuna on the run, not going to get that. That's off the scoreboard. 1 run scores. Here comes Bour to third. They'll stop him there. Anderson with a double off the scoreboard in left ties the game at 1. He almost peppered the home run sculpture here in the first.
He sure did. And the ball hit right off the top of the wall, just below the green padding. High fastball leveled off on it. And very fortunate it's not 3-1.
So 3 straight hits for the Marlins brings up Derek Dietrich. Dietrich's the left fielder. Had another candidate to strike out. Dietrich had 3 singles here last night. And a bouncing ball just foul past first. That would have cleared him. 0-1 the count.
Last night, Brendan McCarthy could not generate a shutdown inning. After every Braves score, every inning, the Marlins came back with runs of their own. That's continued tonight.
Soroka ready with his 0-1. And that one got away from Flowers, but not far enough. One ball, one strike. A faster runner might have taken a chance with 2 outs.
Exactly. We've talked about this team not having a lot of team speed. Flowers was lucky to get a glove on that one. Just about anybody else on their team other than Bohr probably tries to score.
Long inning for Soroka, who got the first 2 outs. 3 straight hits for Miami. And now he's a strike away from retiring Dietrich here. Remember, the Marlins came to town after getting absolutely pulverized by the Cubs at Wrigley Field. But before that sweep in Chicago, they'd won 4 straight series. So they have not been rolling over teams here in the last 2 weeks. Braves have a fight on their hands again tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he chased the high fastball, and that ends the inning. Soroka strikes out the side, but a Brian Anderson double brings home Starlin Castro, and after 1 we're tied. Soroka to escape further damage. As Joe mentioned a moment ago, he's fortunate that Justin Bohr was the lead runner. Otherwise, Brian Anderson might have put him in front. So we start over. 1-1 game. Second inning, Jose Bautista will lead off for the Braves. Inciarte and Flowers to follow. Brian Snitker said at the start of the series his plan was to play Bautista against the left-handers in this series. But I think it's time. Even Jose would agree it's time to get going. He's 3 for 21 at the plate. And he swings the first pitch. Got a bad hop, but couldn't cash it in. Tough break for Bautista. Nice play by Rojas to stay with that. And there's the first out.
Like it hit right on the lip of the grass and sprang up. Nice play by Miguel.
I'm guessing, Joe, the game plan is don't get to 2 strikes with that changeup in play for Garcia. He's facing his 6th hitter. He's thrown 9 pitches.
I would say you're probably right, Chip, except the Braves are such first pitch fastball guys anyway on anybody.
Well, getting runs against this guy has been remarkably difficult. He's allowed 10 total runs now in his first 6 starts with Miami, and 7 of those came in his last game. And he has pitched great against the Cubs, Phillies, Mets, Yankees, and Dodgers this year.
Yeah, his win was against New York. 5 innings of 1-hit shutout ball.
But he just threw a 4-pitch walk to Ender with 1 out. Second Braves base runner. Ender with 16 stolen bases is a threat to go here.
I like that because Ender didn't go up there with the thought of swinging at the first pitch. He wanted to see one out of his hand, and one ball led to another.
Ender leads Trey Turner by 4, Michael Taylor by 6 in the stolen base department. Turner and Taylor play with Washington. Here's Tyler. There's a strike at the knees. Tyler Flowers is a career .306 hitter against the Marlins. .26 hits in 26 career games. That kind of production continues tonight for him, with Johan Camargo batting behind him. No balls and a strike for the Braves catcher. And that stayed outside for an even count. Garcia, a great story out of the Dominican Republic. Was a big-time soccer player. He didn't start playing baseball until he was 15 years old. As this one's dumped into shallow right, that's going to drop in for a base hit, and the Braves are in business. Ball gets behind Anderson. Ron Washington's going to wave Ender. The throw's going to come to second late, and the Braves take the lead.
Beautiful bit of base running by Ender Inciarte. Just baseball brilliant. He read it off the bat as a blooper. He knew it was going to drop in front of Anderson because he had checked the outfield before the pitch was made. And then as soon as he saw it get by Anderson, Ron's waving him and he's ready to go and scores easily. Outstanding.
That's a single and an error on Anderson in right. The Braves have the lead right back, and Johan Camargo the batter. So some bad luck for Garcia, who grew from 5'7" to 6'3" after his age 15 soccer exploits. Decided to start playing baseball, and here he is in the major leagues. Nearly a major league cross-up, it looked like, with Real Muto there.
Most of the trip to the mound. Boy, JT lucky to get leather on that one. To get Camargo going too, especially right-handed, his natural side. Just 2 for 18 batting right-handed. That's very unusual for him.
That's hit to third. Martin looks the runner back and throws him out at first. 2 outs. So again, early swing in the count. Camargo's retired on 1 pitch, and here's Soroka. Call might put the ball in play 3 times against Noah Syndergaard in New York. So he shouldn't be fearful of a fastball. Took that one though for a strike. 0-1. Noah Syndergaard's going to pitch tonight for the Mets. They're playing the Phillies again. Bad weather in Philadelphia. And last report, the pitch is cued foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Hilarious conversation with Soroka the other night on the bus about with the hockey Stanley Cup playoffs going on, and I said, at what point did you stop playing hockey? And he said, I think I was about 12. He said, I was a goalie. He said, and I just got tired of going to practice, and my skate around was in the crease. You know, I just back and forth between the posts. I got a little tired of that.
Right. I think he's chosen wisely. No balls, 2 strikes. And Realmuto, a nice save there. It's 1-2.
JT's quite a player, folks. Kurt Suzuki paid him a compliment after the game last night, talking about what a tough out he is and one of the better players in the National League.
Sharply hit, but right to the first baseman Bohr, and that retires the side. Atlanta gets a walk, a single, and a 2-base error by Brian Henderson to take the lead right back in Miami.
And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
2-1 Atlanta as we head to the bottom of the second inning. One of the unique features here at Marlins Park, the fish tanks right behind home plate. And you can watch the Fish or every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium, allowing you to watch baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details.
Let's watch Ender on his flight around the bases on this bloop by Tyler Flowers. Again, recognition. Quicker speed second to third. Quicker yet third to home. Big time base running right there, folks.
So Mike has his second lead of the game. Rojas, Brinson, and Garcia coming up.
Shutdown inning. Need one of those. Get the leadoff guy.
And strike one to Rojas. Batting .255 for the year. 3 hits for Rojas last night. An RBI and a run scored. Marlins scored 6 runs on 14 hits last evening. All the runs came against Brandon McCarthy. Moylan and Biddle pitched 3 innings of 3-hit shutout relief. So if needed, the pen should be in pretty good shape tonight. Two and two. All 3 outs for Soroka in the game so far via strikeout. He's got Rojas set up. This one, though, popped up to right and playable for Nick Markakis. He's got it, 1 out. Here's Brinson.
Wouldn't hurt to have a quick inning, too, after 25 pitches. He got the 2 strikeouts. Looked like he was going to breeze through the first and wasn't able to.
Brinson's got a couple of hits in the series. He's hit a homer. He's driven home 2. He scored 2 runs. The home run he hit, the first homer for Brinson in his home park here in Miami. 175 average, in large part because of a whopping 48 strikeouts. This one's lifted towards center. And Ender's going to catch that. 2 outs. And here's Harlan Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 6. He has struck out 4 times. Again, what a great story. He didn't even play organized baseball till he's 15, and now he's a major league starting pitcher and pitching really well.
Are you listening at home, folks? Didn't start when he was 3 or 4 or 8 or 10.
Travel ball probably wasn't a part of it.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. Right. Played another sport. Mike's got him set up 0-2. And that skipped up there. A ball and 2 strikes. And his first name is pronounced Harlan, not Harleen. Harlan. That's how he likes it pronounced. And he will have a seat for a brief moment as Soroka picks up his 4th strikeout. Top of the Atlanta orders coming up. Braves have the lead 2-1 in game 3 of the series. Child.
And what I loved about it was that she knew right away that it was a home run when you were calling it, but she was squealing to everybody else to let them know, hey, come take a look.
That was great. Well, Ozzie Albies is off to an amazing start. Our great stat man Steve Lebo gave me this note card before the game. Ozzie, 12 homers in 37 games. The only players aged 21 or younger to get 12 homers that quickly in a season are Albert Pujols, Eddie Matthews, and Orlando Cepeda. And those were big men, big power hitting men. This is a 5'8" middle infielder.
Scat back.
So incredible for Albies. Who leads the National League in extra base hits, runs, and total bases. And is up for the second time and pops it up. Drifting out is Starlin Castro. He says he's got it and does. One out. And here's Ronald Acuna. He hit into the shift his first time up and grounded out to the second baseman, who was on the third base side of the second base bag. And he takes a strike. Ronald still putting the ball in play for the most part. Strikeouts are starting to pile up a little bit for him, but he's still hitting the ball hard. Just needs to find a hole and get on a nice offensive run again.
Yeah, I hope those hard hit ground ball outs against the Giants didn't play on his head a little bit, that all of a sudden I need to start putting the ball in the air, get it more in the air, uppercut a little more, which leads to more strikeouts and more pop-ups.
1-2 pitch.
But it can be frustrating for any hitter in the big leagues to hit the ball hard and only have it go right at somebody for an out, let alone a guy that's 20 years old.
Have we seen a changeup from Garcia yet? Fastball got him and froze him in the inner corner. Acuna caught looking. That's strikeout number 2.
And that was 94. No, I haven't noticed a changeup.
Freeman never gave him a chance to throw one.
No.
Because he ambushed the first pitch of his night and hit it 419 feet away. 7th home run for Freeman. 7th hit on the road trip. And that's the first of the 2 Braves runs so far tonight. 2 runs on 2 hits for Atlanta. The pitch is out of play, and this one a no-doubter.
I mean, he's just fresh off the bench, right out of the on-deck circle, off the second deck. Nice breaking ball there from Garcia. Martin Prado has joined the party on the right side of the infield now.
And that one bounces into the Braves dugout. Freddie's still alive. A ball and 2 strikes.
As you can see from the bench here at Marlins Park, up on the rail, you're sitting like a shooting gallery. You better get your head down on anything that comes that way.
Lifted toward left. Dietrich retreats and he puts it away, and that retires the side. Garcia has his first 1-2-3 inning. Top of the Miami orders coming up next. SunTrust Park for the best matchups, giveaways, and events this year. Then the 6-4-3 is for you. Get your ticket to 6 fan favorite games, 4 key matchups, and 3 games celebrating Chipper Jones. Go to Braves.com/643 and get all the details. JT Realmuto leads off the third for Miami and takes ball 1 from Soroka. I really hope that Realmuto will be around when the Marlins get their rebuild completed. Line drive into left field. That's trouble. Acuna's going to cut it off quickly. It's off the end of his glove. And Realmuto's in at second base to start the inning. As you said, Joe, this guy is a terrific player, an outstanding athlete, and he's wearing out the Braves.
Can't get him out. That's not his best fastball. He had a bunch of 93s earlier. That was 91, and again, belt high. Got to get it down.
And they have the perfect guy in the box in this situation, Martin Prado. You know how good he swings the magic wand. He'll try to push this ball to the right side at the least and get Realmuto to third base. Martin struck out in his first at bat. Play foul. I don't know if Realmuto will finish the season as a Marlin. I would assume, Joe, that as you suggested earlier in the series, they're going to get a king's ransom for him. That's what it's going to take to have Realmuto wear another uniform.
Yeah, and he's controllable for them financially.
Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
As we have learned, they are all about budget, payroll, saving money. D. Gordon was an all-star, wasn't he, at one point?
I believe so, yeah.
Trade 4 all-stars off your team and 1 winner. How about that?
It tells you how close they could have been. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bouncing ball. Prado does his job. Albies with the backhanded stab. Runner to third, 1 out.
That's Martin for you. Like you said, Martin as in routine.
So now Castro becomes the key man of the inning. He had a slow topspin roller to third base that Bautista got too late. He legged out an infield hit and scored on Anderson's double. So Atlanta will play the infield in here for Castro. Strike 1. Castro, another guy that might not be wearing a Marlins uniform by August. Veteran player, having a good year. He could be a valuable commodity for a club looking to make a postseason push. No swing, even count.
I can see him being moved more than Realmuto because he won't command quite the price that the catcher will.
So Miami has their first leadoff man on in the game. He's at third base now. And that bounced up there for Castro. 2 balls and a strike. After the first 2 hitters, Soroka's going to throw a lot of pitches. He does have 4 strikeouts. And a 1-2-3 second. Now has a man at third, 1 out in the home third. The pitch. Slow roller. That is going to trickle foul. Get to it quickly, boys.
Yeah.
Could have spun back fair. That would have been a mess. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big pitch in a big spot. Castro went fishing, didn't get it. And now the infield can back up to normal depth. Bohr the hitter with 2 outs.
What was that? Slider down and away. Started it at the outside corner and got him to start his swing.
I don't know if he took a little velocity off, but it sure had a lot of action. And now Bohr the batter, he muscled a single his first time up. Two balls, no strikes. Flowers fortunate that didn't trickle farther away.
I don't believe he was crossed up. There's no discussion going on.
Caught an inside corner, 2-1. Washington won today. They beat Arizona 2-1. Nationals are playing their best baseball now. They've won 9 of 11 games. And Arizona slumping. They just dropped their 4th in a row. Opening the door for Colorado and San Francisco out west. Mets play the Phillies later on tonight. Actually, that game should have started by now. Bad weather in Philadelphia. As the pitch is grounded to the right side. Freeman's got it. Soroka broke to the bag, got there in time, and he pitches around a leadoff double and a man at third with 1 out. That was impressive work. He holds the lead. We go to the 4th. Batting average behind Odubel Herrera of the Phillies. He has the most hits of any player in the National League, and Nick Markakis is coming up to start the Braves 4th with Atlanta leading by a run. It's a 2-1 game after 3.
I'd say he's having a pretty good month of May so far. 452 average, 11 RBIs, a couple of homers, more than a couple.
He's also the toughest guy to strike out, as you pointed out last night. Nick's only struck out 13 times coming into action tonight. Garcia got him in the first inning. Let's see if Nick can exact some revenge here in his second look.
That might have been the changeup.
Lined hard toward left, sinking, and Dietrich is there. He made the catch.
Nice job by Derek Dietrich, who is a second baseman by nature. Got Anderson in right, who's a third baseman.
Well, they've got that messed up then. Shouldn't Anderson be playing in left? That's closer to third. Dietrich could play in right. That's closer to second.
Well, I think you might be onto something.
Ask Don Mattingly that tomorrow. 1 ball, no strikes for Bautista. And a strike to him, 1-1 the count. Bautista 0 for his last 12. Swung at the first pitch and grounded out to start the second inning. He's ahead in the count here in the fourth. And pops it up. Prado is there at the line, and he makes the play. 2 outs. Ender walked and scored in the second inning. Great base running. After Flowers singled, the error by Anderson allowed Ender to score. And he takes downstairs, ball 1.
Ender showing a great deal of patience with him.
Sharply hit and under the glove of Bohr at first.
Should be their second error of the night. But we'll see. Here's a change up and hit hard. And right under his glove.
So they gave him a hit, of course.
Well, that's good by Ender. Sometimes you got to play reverse psychology on him a little bit.
I like it.
That was a walk. Did you see where his front foot landed? Tyler Flowers almost swung. That's down the front slope of the mound.
Strike 1 for the Braves catcher Tyler Flowers.
That was a change up.
He didn't show it to the Braves much the first time through the order. Breaking it out now here in the fourth.
Big lead for Inciarte.
And now an even count. Garcia had given up just 1 run at home entering action tonight. The Braves have touched him for 2. Keep on adding on if you can. This has been, the Braves have been awfully deadly in this series. 2 out scoring chances. Runner goes. Pitch outside. Real Muto's throw is late. Ender's got another stolen base, number 17.
Another good piece of base running. Garcia tried to quick pitch him with a slide step, and Ender was like right in tune with him as soon as he picked that right foot up. Good throw by Real Muto again. Tag was up on the knee or thigh. Second base umpire is Rob Drake.
And the Marlins are going to apparently take a look at this. Well, for the moment, he's got his 17th stolen base. Last year, Ender played 157 games and stole 22 bags. I think it's safe to say he's well ahead of 2017's pilfer pace. So Miami's going to challenge the safe call.
I don't know how you can overturn that. When Ender slides, he slides with his foot parallel to the edge of the base. So there's no hitting it with your heel or with your foot up that sometimes indicates or makes it look like you're not yet on the bag. Also helps keep him from sliding over the base.
So the verdict is in. He is safe. So the call is confirmed. Miami loses the challenge. Ender is safe at second, and Tyler Flowers a chance to add to the lead with a 2-out hit. Two balls, one strike. Now time called. Mike Witter's not quite ready, nor is Flowers. Now we're ready. Here it is. And Tyler takes a walk. That is the second free pass issued by Garcia. 2 on for Camargo with 2 outs. It's uncanny what Atlanta's done in this situation the last 2 games.
Crazy. Well, really all year long. 2 outs, 100 runs scored.
And 12 out of 14 in this series. Total runs scored with 2 outs for the Braves. Johan bounced out to third, his first and only time up. He's 0 for 1.
Be selective here. Be patient. Look for a good pitch.
And that missed. 1 ball, no strikes.
Trust your hands. Know that they're going to get the barrel to the baseball as long as you don't fly open too soon, which causes you to slow down. I think in some ways, I don't know if Johan would admit to this, but there's got to be a little bit of trying to keep up with the Joneses, or in this case the Albies. What Ozzy's doing, he wants to be right there with him.
2 balls and a strike. Well, Camargo was a very valuable player for the Braves last year. He hit .299. Played 82 games. Drove in 27 runs, picked up 72 hits. Off to a slow start at the plate this year. In the air toward center, and Brinson's going to make the catch to retire the side. The Braves threaten, can't add to a 2-1 lead. Middle of the order up for Miami next.
In the locker room today, coming back after a subpar start, he was very relaxed. He was talking to everybody, including me, watching a little golf channel. What did he promise to do? Well, he promised to attack. Has he come through with that offer? Yes, he has. No walks, 5 strikeouts so far, guys. This guy has a mean demeanor. Once he gets out on the field, relaxed off. I like it. Back to you.
One of the other things too, Paul, from a numbers standpoint, is his second time through the order. In his first 2 starts, hitters were 8 for 16 his second time through. So far, halfway through the second time through the order, they're 1 for 4.
So Brian Anderson, the hitter, he takes a strike. Strike one's been a little elusive for Mike so far tonight. He's 6 out of 14 throwing first pitch strikes, but Joey's only gotten the ball 3 once. So that's falling into the Tom Glavine theory. Try to get to 2 strikes after 3 pitches if he can. He struck out 5, which matches his career high, set in his first start against the Mets. This one's on the ground to short. Camargo's got it. And his throw right on the money for out number 1. Anderson's retired.
Only one leadoff man to reach. That was last inning. Real Muto with the double, but he was stranded there.
Five strikeouts, 3 groundouts for Soroka in the game. Here's Dietrich, who struck out to end the Marlins first. Struck out with runners at second and third, by the way. All in 1 your count.
Good first pitch, slow breaking ball.
Do you remember Dietrich being this strikeout happy in our years before with Miami?
I've always felt like he's one of those guys that was trying to hit in the seats a lot. Yes.
I mean, that wasn't even close. And Soroka strikes him out for the second time. That's a new career high, number 6. Dietrich struck out 98 times last year in 400 at bats. He's got 38 strikeouts already this year.
Yeah, he's well on his way to breaking that number, and he's right on the top of the plate. We know that he gets hit by pitches a lot. He wants you to pitch him inside, and he wants to turn on the ball, lift and separate.
Rojas. Breaking ball, strike.
I think Paul would agree, having talked to him about tonight's start and everything. For a 20-year-old, one of the things that grabs you is that there's nothing shy about him. He'll talk to you, and he'll talk to you as long as you want to visit.
Oh, 2 pitch is lined over first, and Rojas takes advantage of a mistake, and he singles to right field.
If nothing else, I like Soroka's reaction to that. He knew he made a bad pitch 0-2, and he kind of looked out toward left field, beating himself up. Right there.
Tyler wanted it higher than high, and Mike couldn't get it there. So Brinson, the hitter. Lewis flat out to center in his first trip. One ball, one strike.
When we talk about the value of JT Realmuto on the trading market, you only have to look at Lewis Brinson in center field, and That's what it cost Milwaukee to get Christian Yelich. Any discussion about Yelich or Real Muto in the offseason began with the team's #1 prospect, whoever that might be.
1-1 pitch, runner goes, pitch fouled away. And the Braves doing their due diligence. It was rumored, called the Marlins about Real Muto, and their asking price was, well, they said first, sure, we'll do it, but the cost will be Acuna.
It starts with Acuna, and that was with Yelich too. Any discussion of Yelich before he was traded.
So Soroka has Brinson set up with 2 strikes. Rojas leads. Not going. And a ground ball hit to second. Ozzie gets the friendly hop and the throw to first in time. Soroka took care of Brinson and the Marlins. They strand a runner in the 4th. We go to the 5th. 2-1 Atlanta. A gorgeous Art Deco retractable roof stadium here in the heart of Miami, Florida. Inside, it's cozy and comfy. The Braves lead 2-1 after 4. Mike Soroka leads off. Albies and Acuna to follow. How about this? The 3 youngest players in the game are all going to hit in this inning.
I love that.
Right? In fact, if you add Luis Gohara to the mix, the Braves have 4 of the 5 youngest players in the game. They're all on the 25-man roster. The pitch is downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is awesome. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, you'll be thinking about it after the game tomorrow. Here's the pitch, which is sharply hit to short. Rojas loads up and throws to first, because the Braves also lead the major leagues in milk, cookie, and bedtime story night on the team charters. And we're going to have a late night tomorrow going to Chicago.
Yeah, the old makeup game on Monday.
Yep.
Would have been miserable to play on that Sunday in Chicago, and the payback is having to go back and finish that, or start that game and finish it before we all come back to Atlanta to play the Cubs for 3 days beginning Tuesday.
That's right. So we hope you'll join us at SunTrust Park. Good homestand coming up. The Braves have the Cubs and the Marlins Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we go on the road again for a week to Philly and Boston for a date with the Red Sox. The 0-1 pitch to Albies. He is cut on and missed.
Real good chance we're going to see Garcia at SunTrust Park next week.
Base is empty for Ozzie. The pitch is cut on and missed. Lost the helmet. He's 0 for 3. 2 outs. And that's the third strikeout for Garcia. And Acuna's coming up. Well, how about Soroka and Garcia? They are both pitching beautiful games. If it wasn't for the error in right, we'd have a 1-1 tie. Luckily, the Braves cashed it in to lead. Upstairs to Acuna. Ball 1. Ronald lost the bat after he made contact. Ball and a strike.
Watch Martin. Speaking of soccer players, they want to bend over and pick it up. So
Line drive into right field. That'll get down for Acuna. Oh, that ball took a funny bounce. Brinson stayed with it. And Ronald with a solid single, of course, with 2 outs. And it brings up Freddie Freeman here. That ball got to the outfield in a big hurry.
turned it over, a little change up away, stayed with it. Nice job by Ronald.
Freddie hit a 419-foot homer in the first inning to start the scoring tonight. Another ball off the bat of Acuna at 101.5 miles an hour. That one found some green grass. However, the pitch is in for a strike. You mentioned that series against the Giants, his first 8 at bats against San Francisco at home. Ronald was 0 for 8, but 6 of those 8 hits, balls that were hit, I should say, were over 100 miles an hour. Bruce Bochy, who's been around the game a long time, said, I was getting worried about my infielders. I thought we might have to put a protective screen up for the third baseman Longoria and shortstop Crawford. As he measures a lead and draws a throw, a ball and a strike.
Well, we can only assume, we don't know for sure, that Longoria and Crawford, and Bruce Bochy, and the rest of the team are actually still playing with the Giants, because they haven't won a game since.
I don't think they have. No. They've disappeared. The pitch is out of play, foul. That's the wonderfully frustrating, intoxicating thing about baseball. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. The Giants rolled through Atlanta. It looked like they were going to make a march to the top of the division out west. They've since lost 5 straight games.
4 to the Phillies, where they could have really helped the Braves out, and 1 at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh scored 11 runs against him yesterday. And what was Andrew McCutchen's return to Steel City? That was a touching tribute that the Pirates and their fans put on for Andrew McCutchen. It was standing ovation after standing ovation for him.
Biggest crowd of the year.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It stayed high for Freeman, just high, full count.
It's hard to get that high strike on a breaking ball. You know, it starts so high that it just doesn't look like a strike, even if it shows it. Probably was on pitch tracks.
There goes Acuna. And Freeman hits one high in the air toward the home run sculpture in left. Brinson going back to the wall, leaps up. He can't get it. That is a home run. Freddie Freeman has hit a 2-run homer into the home run sculpture, and Atlanta extends the lead. A 2-homer night.
They didn't get the call that they wanted on that high breaking pitch. Come back with something else in the middle of the plate. Looked like that was a little off speed. base of the eyesore in center. This guy hadn't given up anything to left-handed hitters. 2 for 21. Freddie's wearing him out.
2 homers, 3 RBIs, and now some more breathing room for the Braves. 4-1 game. And the Acuna base hit is what brought Freddie to the plate. So here's Marquez 0 for 2. And downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. I can't imagine how strong you have to be as a left-hand hitter to try to hit a home run out of this place in that direction. And now Nick lines one toward Brinson. This one, though, is going to be caught. What a difference. Freddie Freeman took ball 3, then hit the next pitch out of the park. A 2-run homer makes it 4-1. It is, Kelsey, and there's cause for celebration in Cleveland because you know what that win means for them?
No.
There's finally a team at 500 in the American League Central.
That's progress. I got a question for you.
Sure.
Who would you rather have, Lindor or Machado?
Ooh.
That made you sit up, didn't it?
Sure did. I guess the answer both wouldn't be possible, right?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen Machado play a lot. Saw Lindor play in the World Series against the Cubs, and I thought he was the best player on the field for the Cleveland Indians. As Garcia goes down on strikes, Soroka continues to add to his career-high strikeout numbers. That's number 7. He's got the first out in the 5th inning. Well, I'll ask you.
They're both really good. I knew you were going to turn it on me.
Well, as Stu Clytenick, you remember our pal Stu Clytenick? Would always ask Mark Lemke on the Braves pregame show, Lemma, as a former Major League player. So I'll ask you, Joe, as a former Major League player, who would you rather have, Machado or Lindor?
I guess I can't have both.
No, if I can't, you can't. It's a team effort.
I don't know. That's why I was a little bit twixt in between when I asked you, but I really like Lindor.
Yeah.
I love to watch him play. A lot of energy. Loves the game. And I'm sure Machado does too. Machado has a little more pop in his bat, but boy, Lindor's there every day doing something.
That's another name, Machado. When are the Orioles going to pull the trigger and do something? I mean, they're 11-27. They're 15 out of first place. It's the middle of May. popped up. As he drifts out. Markakis streaks in, calls him off. Good teamwork there. 2 outs.
Good pitch to Real Muto. Got a few more folks in the seats tonight for Star Wars night here. Last night they announced a little over 9,000. Got more than that tonight.
Here's Martin, 0 for 2. How old is Machado now? Is he a couple years older than Lindor?
Can't answer that.
I'm assuming he is, because it seems like he's been around a little longer than Francisco has. I would err on the side of youth.
I'm going to say 29.
Wow, Machado told us 25, almost 26. I thought he was older than that.
Who is Machado?
Machado.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he was older than that.
Lindor's 24 and a half. As that one shot into right center field, another 2-strike hit. Been a few too many of those for Mike's liking tonight. This one from Prado comes with 2 outs though.
Another one belt high. Yeah, too good. Too good 0-2.
So here's Castro. Biggest out of the game may have been his 3rd inning strikeout, with Real Muto at third base, and the Braves up 2-1.
Yes, he did.
He did. Tim Timmons with the call at first, strike 1. Four runs, 5 hits for the Braves, a run, 6 hits for Miami. The Marlins have committed a costly error that the Braves turned into a run. I think he went around again. He did. 0-2. Castro's not seeing Soroka very well.
He's not picking up that breaking ball, that's for sure. That's what he struck out on in the 3rd inning. Try. Good place. That's what he checked his swing on a couple of innings ago.
We'll try it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Castro had to violently reach to cover that pitch and just did tip it to stay alive. That's hit to the left side. Camargo, long throw, and Freeman has to come off the bag and knock that down. So Castro has an infield hit. Justin Bour is going to come up now, and he represents the tying run.
And again, they're trying to throw him the same pitch he keeps swinging at, but if you make the mistake up, he's going to be able to reach it. And both hits this inning have been on mistakes up.
So now Tyler Flowers out for a visit. As Soroka up to 81 pitches. He's got to get through this 5th inning with this lead intact to qualify for his 2nd big league win and his 3rd major league start. So back-to-back hits for the Marlins on 1-2 counts with 2 outs. Brings up Bohr, who, as I said earlier, has hit 6 of his 7 homers with 2 outs this year. It skipped off the plate. Ball 1. Later on tonight, the Cardinals visit San Diego. The Dodgers host Cincinnati. All of a sudden, the Reds are on a win streak. They've won 4 in a row. Got a big lift from Matt Harvey last night, who made his Cincinnati debut and pitched well. Good off-speed pitch, bore way out in front.
81 miles an hour on that one. Shift on. Bohr wants the ball middle in. Especially something down low. Braves have got to shift on knowing he wants to pull. Good pitch. Oh, didn't get the call, but really a good pitch. Target was down and away, and Tyler tried to frame it for him, couldn't get it.
Bohr, as we told you, has 2 or more walks in 4 straight games. He's been a patient hitter. The pitch just outside. Now we've got trouble. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, if you're most 20-year-olds, if you're behind 3-1 and in a jam, you just throw your best Sunday fastball. This is not your normal 20-year-old. Let's see what they go with here.
Bohr walks. So that is the first walk for Soroka in the game. The Marlins, though, have the bases loaded, and Anderson's the man that's hit the ball hardest against him. He doubled off the wall in left center field. That double brought home Castro in the Miami first. Dietrich struck out to end the Marlins threat. Told you Anderson had some good minor league numbers last year. 22 homers between AA and AAA before getting to the big leagues. And a nice body block by Flowers. That saved a run potentially. Ball 1.
Well, Mike Soroka last year in AA at Jackson, Mississippi, 11-8, 2.75 ERA. Anderson was at Jacksonville in the Southern League, so they crossed paths, I'm sure. 14 of his homers last year for Anderson were in AA.
One ball, no strikes. Game on the bases for Miami. And a slow roller hit toward third. Bautista gloves, can't handle it. A run is in. Another runner streaking between home and third and scrambles back. So Anderson puts it in play, rolls it slowly to third. Bautista can't come up with it. Prado scores the second run. And the bases remain loaded with 2 outs. It's now a 2-run game.
Got to make that play. Came up on him, but you got to make that play to get out of the inning. E5.
So all this trouble coming after 2 quick outs. Prado a hit on a 1-2 count. Castro a hit on a 1-2 count. Bohr walked. And then Anderson with a slow roller to third that Bautista couldn't handle for the error to bring home the second run. Now it's Dietrich's turn. He's struck out twice. Chuck Hernandez to the mound. Puts the game on pause for a moment. Atlanta's bullpen stirring as Soroka pushing toward 90 pitches. And leading 4-2.
And Dietrich wants to swing, so be careful on this first one.
Well off the plate, ball 1. Fly ball center. Long run ender. Still going back to the wall. Leaping try. He can't get it. 2-run score. Here comes Anderson around. He's going to score. It's a bases clearing double for Dietrich. And Miami takes the lead.
Marlins doing a Braves act here with all these 2-out runs. Not a bad pitch. Dietrich went with it. Ender had a long way to go. Too far to go.
So that'll be the end of the line for Soroka, who deserved a much better fate. Too many good pitches on 2 strike counts were part of the story for Mike tonight. And the costly error gives Dietrich a chance to hit, and he clears the bases with a 3-run double.
Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Derek Dietrich, the Georgia Tech star, has a 3-run double. And after the error at third base, the Marlins have cashed in 4 unearned runs to take the lead. Now Moylan's got to get Rojas and get the Braves back up there in the 6th inning.
Peter pitched last night. Gave up a hit and a walk, but did not allow a run. He did give up 2 runs in a third of an inning at Tampa Bay on the 9th. What a shame for Soroka. The ground ball, if the play's made on the ground ball, he's out of the inning.
So a strike from Peter to Rojas, who had a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. And that'll be something Mike talks about after the game. Miami has 8 hits. I know of at least 3 of them came with 2 strike counts tonight. About to clean that up for his next start. Moylan tries to clean up the 5th with 2 outs. And he got it by Rojas. It's 0-2. Peter kind of like the Braves version of Brad Ziegler. Tough on right-hand hitters. Hopefully he'll have swing and miss stuff in this spot. He didn't swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A strikeout, a flyout. Then 2 soft singles, a walk, an error, and then a booming double to left center. Just like that, Miami scored 4.
Sorry, Chip. Extra outs. No matter who you're playing, always seem to bite you.
And the 1-2 just missed. That's almost inside the bag at first. That would have been trouble. And Rojas fought it off to stay alive. So from 0-2 now to a full count. Strike three. Rojas couldn't pull the trigger. So Moylan stops the bleeding. A costly error leads to a Dietrich bases clearing double, and Miami now has a 5-4 lead. The rally started here in the 6th. Bautista, Inciarte, and Tyler Flowers are coming up. New life for Harlan Garcia, who is on the short end of a 4-2 game before Miami's 4-run bottom of the 5th inning.
He's pitched a pretty good ball game, except for Freddie Freeman, who's driven in 3 of the 4 runs.
So Bautista's grounded out and popped out. He's 3 for 23 at the plate, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. High fly ball hammered toward left. Back goes Dietrich to the wall, and it's gone. Bautista, with his first homer as a Brave, ties the game. That's the 3rd homer hit by the Braves tonight.
Fastball, inner third. And he atones quickly for the error.
And that gets Soroka off the hook. 5-5 game. And now Miami's bullpen starts to pace around in left as Prado and Real Muto get together. My guess is Martin will be serving as an interpreter here.
And trying to. There's a pitching coach Nieves out there who can speak to him also. And buy time for the pen.
So Juan Nieves heads back to the Miami dugout. Jose Bautista with his first home run ties our game 5 apiece. When was his last home run? It was September 27th against the Red Sox and Rick Porcello. So here's Ender ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. And now it's even. Ender's walked, singled, stolen a base, and scored a run. He's got 6 hits on the road trip and took a strike. Garcia hasn't thrown a lot of pitches because the Braves have been swinging early in the count against him. And a swinging bunt. That's down the first base line. It's going to roll foul, however. And now it's 1-2.
Really just needed to close the roof and make it feel like a real dome stadium for Jose, so he felt at home.
That's right.
Rogers Center.
Forgot about that. It'll be closed again tomorrow, we believe, with heavy thunderstorms expected here in South Florida. Ball is flying tonight for the Braves and Miami. Atlanta with 3 homers tonight. Des Ender is down on strikes. That's number 4 for Garcia. 1 away from Tyler Flowers. He's reached twice. That's ripped out of play. 1-1 is your count.
It seems like Tyler's getting his timing back a little bit. He's having some good swings.
That had to be incredibly frustrating for Flowers. You come off a great season last year. You come all the way through spring training. You've got a good feel for the staff. You feel like your swing's in pretty good order. You got a team you're very excited about, a young club, and then in your first at bat of the year, you check your swing and you pull your oblique and you have to go to the DL.
Not what he was planning.
No. 1-2 pitch. Stayed low. It's 2-2. Braves will see Jose Urena tomorrow. Sean Newcomb will pitch for Atlanta. Braves 5, Miami 5 in game 3. A line drive headed for the gap in right center. Brinson's going to try to cut it off. He will. And Flowers settles for a long single with 1 out. Boy, Brinson really covered some real estate. Look at where he's standing right now. Almost right in front of the Braves bullpen in right field.
Shading him over toward right center. Long strider. Gets over there and holds him to 1. Good swing by Tyler.
Charlie Culberson's on deck. He'll bat for Moylan if Johan Camargo can keep the inning alive. Johan's 0 for 2.
Front shoulder of Johan's really flying open. Nothing a line drive to right center won't cure.
Ground ball to third. Prado scoops and fires to second. 1 and under first, double play. So that takes care of Atlanta in the 6th inning, but Jose Bautista with his first homer in a Braves uniform. A leadoff shot ties the game at 5 after 5.5. Atlanta will use double switch here. Ryan Flaherty's going to check in and play third base for Atlanta. And Shane Carl's going to come on and pitch the third pitcher of the night for Brian Snitker.
Second appearance on the road trip. He was in a game at Tampa Bay. An inning. No hits or runs. Walked a batter. No strikeouts. He's been so good all year long. 12 of 16 first batters faced. He has retired. Starts with a clean inning tonight.
Brinson, then the pitcher's spot, then Real Muto for Shane Carl. And a blistering fastball in for a strike. Where would the Braves be without Winkler and Carl in the bullpen? How good have they been?
Not in first place.
You're right about that. Braves pen is pitching real effectively so far in the month of May. A 2.60 ERA as a group, 4 for 4 in saves, 35 strikeouts in 34 and 2/3 innings, now 35 innings with Moylan's frame, and 13 walks. They've really cut down on the free passes, which has made things a lot easier for everybody concerned. In fact, since April 28th, that crazy game against the Cubs, the Braves relief corps has a 2.18 ERA. They're doing a good job. They'll have to pick up a lot of innings tonight and keep it tied.
I know that game counts in the standings, right? Got to count that game in the standings in Chicago.
The weather game, yeah.
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and unfortunately, too, you got to count the stats, too, but the conditions in which the Braves bullpen was trying to work that day was impossible.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Brinson. Nobody on or out. And he lifts one down the right field line. Long run for Freeman. He is not going to get there. No play. I sure hope the weather's not going to be 36 and snowing or whatever in Chicago when we get there on Sunday night. And don't know who's going to pitch. I think it's Julio's turn to pitch on Monday. I know that the Cubs are going to have Yu Darvish pitch against the Braves in Atlanta on Tuesday. Things haven't gone very well for Darvish in a Cubs uniform yet this year. The 2-2 pitch for Lewis Brinson is bounced up the middle. Camargo to his left. Field spins, can't do anything with it. An infield hit for Brinson. Another 2-strike hit for the Marlins in this game. So he's a threat to run. Let's see what Miami is going to do. The pitchers do next.
Shuck again.
Indeed it is. So Garcia's going to leave after 6 innings. He gave up 5 runs, 3 homers, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Braves have 7 hits as well. Way outside to J.B. Shuck.
They have no lefties in their bullpen, and this is their only left-handed hitter on the bench.
Shuck had a hit here last night. There's a nice run going against the Braves. See if Carl can end that with a ground ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Brinson a good lead. He is chased back. Marlins do not run much at all. In fact, they are 9 for 16 as a team in stolen bases this year. Ender Inciarte, to put that in perspective, has stolen 17 bases by himself. One ball, no strikes. Again to first.
Brinson, however, is one guy they have that can run. He only has 1 stolen base, but he hasn't been on much.
He's leaning and going, and the pitch fouled away. There's a break. Brinson had a nice jump. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hit and run. Marlins don't run much. Braves catchers don't throw anybody out much. Tyler hasn't been back there hardly at all. He's only 0 for 1. Kurt Suzuki 0 for 12.
Now it's a ball and a strike in a 5-5 game in the 6th. Well, the Marlins have played 20 home games. They've hit 14 home runs in their home park. So they do have to try to manufacture stuff. Push across runs. They've gotten some help tonight from the Braves. As again, Carl to first. Did Brinson hurt himself?
That didn't look all that bad.
And how about the fancy shoes with the just getting started lettering for Brinson, the Marlins season slogan. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Major League Baseball coming down on some guys over their fancy footwear. And Clevenger, the pitcher in Cleveland, was sent a letter by MLB telling him not to wear some shoes he's been wearing.
Ben Zobrist too with the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is up and away. Ball 2. Carl ready, and here it is. A ground ball to first. Freeman's going to fire to second for 1. On to first. It's too late. Ball dropped. Chuck beat the wrap anyway, but Atlanta gets the leading runner, Lewis Brinson, for the first out. And now Real Muto will hit with a runner at first. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Chuck has a stolen base. Let's see what they do with Real Muto up there. JT's 3rd inning double gives him a 9-game home hitting streak. Then Martin Prado coming up. That's a little low. Ball 1.
He's got a stolen base, but he doesn't run like Brinson. And the way Real Muto's swinging the bat, I don't think they'll take the bat out of his hands on a hit and run, but we'll see.
That's hit to third. Flaherty caught it, and the throw to first is in time. It's going to be a double play. Shuck was frozen in no man's land, and Flaherty made the play at third base, threw to second, and then on to first. The Braves threw the ball around the horn, but Don Mattingly's out to take a look here.
Freddie Gonzalez is the one that stopped this.
Now, if the ball was caught on the fly, then Shuck would be able to go back to first base unless he was doubled off.
But he wasn't on the bag, I don't think.
Right, exactly. So this is going to be an around the horn double play. Everybody was frozen in place because Flaherty, with an excellent play at third base, deked everybody. Did he catch it?
No.
Nope.
Short hop.
Short hopped it, and the Braves completed the double play. So I'm not sure what Don Mattingly's arguing here as the Braves turn the double play and head to the 7th inning, still tied up. We'll see him signal out. And I'm sure that's what J.B. Shuck saw at first base, so he thought the ball was caught on a line. He stopped, so did the base runner, the batter runner, Real Muto. And as a result, the Braves were able to throw the ball around the infield and get the double play to get out of the inning. So everybody was betwixt and between because of the incorrect out call on the soft line drive to third base, which was clearly short hopped.
Braves will take it. So Teheran Guerrero, who pitched last night, very hard thrower, upper 90s fastball with a slider, 31 strikeouts in 18 plus innings. Last night he worked in the 7th, struck out Albies, and got Ronald and Freddie for a perfect 1-2-3 inning.
Well, he'll start this one with Ryan Flaherty, who came in the flip-flop batting order a moment ago. Ryan leads off the 7th of a 5-5 game. Braves and Marlins, game 3 of 4. And that's cut on and fouled away. Strike one. No balls and a strike for Flaherty. And that stays letter high. They're giving the line score for Garcia on the press box PA. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned in 6 innings tonight, including 3 Atlanta homers, 2 by Freeman. Jose Bautista hit one for Atlanta, his first as a Brave, and that's low for Ryan. 2 balls and a strike. Didn't get it at 98. Not many would. That was well pitched ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Took this guy a while to get to the big leagues and to harness that fastball and throw enough strikes to make it worthwhile to have him here.
Fly ball toward Brinson. And he will recover in time to make the play. Flaherty hit it hard, but he's the first out. Ozzy's 0 for 3. He's grounded out, popped out, and struck out. Foul back, strike one. Guerrero certainly throws downhill. He's 6'7", 214 pounds, out of Boca Chica, Colombia. Began his professional career in 2010 with the Padres. Pitched in 1 major league game 2 years ago before coming to Miami. You're right, Joe. It's been a long time coming for Mr. Guerrero. The pitch.
And it wasn't like anybody was going to give up on him. Not with that kind of arm.
"27 years old. He'll be 28 on he'll be 28 on January 9th next year. His big league debut, that only game he pitched, was May 17th, 2016. One ball, 2 strikes for the Braves second baseman Ozzy Albies, and here it is. Popped him up. Rojas drifts out at shortstop in shallow left. He makes the one-handed shoulder high catch. 2 away. And here's Acuna. Ronald had a base hit in the 5th inning. That was a big play in this game because it brought Freeman up in the 5th, and Freddie hit his 2nd home run for Atlanta that put him up 4-1.
Yeah, 2nd homer tonight. If from a Guerrero standpoint, this is a big at bat right here to keep Freddie from batting this inning. Make him lead off.
Freeman has crushed the Marlins in this series. He's 7 for 11 with 3 homers. He's itching to swing again here in the 7th. First, it's Acuna who takes down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lifted high in the air toward right. Anderson is underneath, and he's got it, and that retires the side. Guerrero gets the Braves in order. Good ball game in Miami. It's the Braves 5, Miami 5. Now it's time for the stretch. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for Miami. We are tied 5 apiece. First man into the batter's box is Martin Prado, who singled and scored back in the 5th inning. It's a battle of the bullpens in the final 3 innings tonight at Marlins Park. Oh, 2.
I know Martin's off to a horrible start by Prado standards, but we've seen him swinging the bat in this series already in the first 3 games here, like the guy we're accustomed to seeing. And, yes, and at times we've cussed him too, but
yeah. Well, 3 hits in the series. He's knocked in a run. And now faces a 1-2 pitch. Got him to swing and miss.
It's a little off.
And Prado with a look out at Carl, much like he did with Mike Soroka in the first inning, wondering how he missed that pitch. But miss it he did for out number 1.
Well disguised. Looked like a fastball, wasn't.
Here's Castro. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs. A mile-high fly ball to center, a rafter scraper. But no worries for Ender Inciarte. Castro's retired on 1 pitch, 2 outs. And again, here's Justin Bour. Looking ahead to the Atlanta 8th, Freeman, Markakis, and then Carl's spot is due. It's going to be the end of the line for Shane Carl. It's A.J. Minter versus Justin Bour, it appears, as Brian Snitker makes his way to the center of the diamond here at Marlins Park. Bases empty in the bottom of the 7th inning. Carl with an effective inning and 2/3 of relief. Here comes A.J. Minter.
Or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
With Paul Burton, Joe Simpson, Chip Carey back in Miami, it'll be A.J. Minter's turn to pitch. Justin Bour, his opponent. Bases empty, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
First appearance in this series for Minter was in 2 games at Tampa Bay. 2/3 of an inning each time, a hit each time, no runs or walks. As we have said before about AJ, it's about that first guy. Only 11 for 17, retiring the first one.
One ball, no strikes, 2 outs for Bour. And ball 2.
Lefty's 3 for 20 against him.
Got that call. Bour not too sure about that. So there's a break. Instead of 3-0, it's 2-1.
Got a break there.
dangerous pitch right here. 3-1. And Bohr takes a walk. That is a new record for the Miami Ball Club. That's 5 straight games for Bohr with 2 or more walks. This one comes with 2 out. And the first batter for Minter reaches on a base on balls. And here's Anderson. He has hit the ball hard a couple of times.
Yeah, that might change for Bohr if this guy continues to hit. Protects him a little better.
Anderson an RBI double in the first. He's grounded out, and he hit the slow roller that Bautista couldn't handle for an error that brought in a run and led to Dietrich's bases clearing double that put Miami in front. Come on, AJ. 1 ball, no strikes. That's more like it. 1-1.
Is that cutter? Had a good pitch with it, especially late in the ball game, tie game. You just can't consistently pitch behind in the count and live to tell about it.
'96, and Anderson fought it off. And now Minter's a strike away from sending the Braves up for the 8th inning.
Bury that cutter in on him and see what happens. Let's see where Tyler sets up.
Just missed. 2-2. Another full count. So now you have a slow runner at first base who's going to get a head start. Justin Bohr measures off his lead as Minter gets the sign from Tyler Flowers. 3-2. There he goes. High hopper hit toward third. Nice play, Flaherty, and the throw to first is in time, and Minter pitches out of the jam in the 7th inning. It was a jam of his own making. So here we go to the 8th inning. Freddie Freeman with a 2-homer night. Nick Markakis, and then we'll see. It's a 5-5 game.
he took a huge hit on his ERA here a couple of nights ago. He went a third of an inning and gave up 6 runs. And that was on the heels of some outstanding work where he hadn't given up anything. There are his numbers for the year. But he had only given up 2 runs in 16+ innings before 2 nights ago. 23 strikeouts.
Freddie Freeman has his 13th career multi-homer game already tonight. It's the second time he's had a 2-homer game this year. And Freddie hit a home run against him 2 nights ago. Let's see if history repeats here tonight. He's pitched him carefully so far. 2 balls, no strikes.
Upper 90s fastball and a slider.
That one found the mark. It's 2-1. And now the Marlins employ their 1-strike shift against Freddie. Martin Prado sprints over to the right side of the diamond and slashed away. 2-2. Mets and Phillies were rained out tonight in Philadelphia. So if Atlanta can win this game, they'll move to a full game ahead of the Phillies in the division. If Atlanta can't win tonight, they'll be tied with the Phillies entering action tomorrow. Washington already won out west. They beat Arizona by a 2-1 count. The Nationals started play a game and a half out. So a very tight race here in the middle of May. Braves in the thick of it. 3-2 pitch. And Freddie sprays that out of play. Too close to take. Fought it off and sees another pitch.
That's got to be awfully difficult for a pitcher to take when you think you've made that good off the plate pitch. He spoils it.
And Freeman coaxes a leadoff walk. Thank you very much. And here's Nick Markakis looking for his first hit. Markakis with 51 hits has a 3-game hitting streak during which he has 6 hits. Big hole right side for Markakis. The pitch on a corner. 0-1.
Yeah, that was a generous strike there.
Drew Steckenrider out of Greater Atlanta Christian School in Norcross, pitching against his hometown Braves again tonight. The 0-1 is high. Marlins took him in the 8th round of the draft back in 2012. Last year, his first season in the major leagues. 37 games and a .234 ERA. All of that work in relief. Even picked up a save for good measure. 1-1 pitch.
Worked a little too quickly on that one. Nick's liking. Pitcher spot due up next.
Preston Tucker's on deck. The pitch jammed him and it's dropped into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Anderson played that very conservatively, and Markakis happy about that. He's got his 52nd hit of the year, and now Atlanta has 2 on and nobody out.
The last thing a guy's going to do that's playing out of position and an infielder playing the outfield is take a chance with the game on the line and make a diving attempt at something he's not very good at and put the game at risk.
And he's already made an error out there that cost the Marlins a run.
True.
So you've got the pitcher spot up here. This is an interesting choice for Brian Snitker. Short bench. Rather than bring on, say, Julio Teheran to bunt here, he's going to call on Preston Tucker to maybe hit a 3-run homer and give the Braves a 3-run lead.
Preston drew a big walk against Steckenrider 2 nights ago.
And a strike for Preston. No balls and a strike. 2 on, nobody out for Atlanta in the 8th. And a pickoff play. The ball almost hit Freddie. It might have.
I think it did. Too bad he didn't knock it a little farther out into right field. A weird step and throw. He didn't spin. He just stepped back. Hit Freddie on the arm or the back.
Nothing in 1 for Tucker. Inciarte on deck. The pitch. He is fouled straight back at 96. It's 0-2. Braves have been so good this year with hitting in runners in scoring position situations. They've got 3 cracks at it here in the 8th to push across the go-ahead run. And that stayed high, a ball and 2 strikes.
Good take. Got to be a little more defensive now. Behind in the count, these runners on base. And that was a tough pitch to lay off.
He swings and misses, and Tucker strikes out. That's the risk you take without the bunt. You go for the big home run. If he hits it, you're dancing in the streets. If not, the task of taking the lead becomes a little tougher. For now, the double play's in order. But you got Ender up there. Ender's walked, singled, and struck out. First and second, 1 away. The pitch. Caught on and missed. 0-1.
Steckenrider getting a little extra on his fastball now after that strikeout.
Oh, 2.
Still a lot of room on the right side. Really a lot of holes in the infield with him playing for a double play up the middle on Ender. Especially on the right side between Bohr and Castro.
Foul over the screen. It's still 0-2.
So far, all fastballs. And that's what they got Tucker on also. Dietrich real shallow in left field.
Missed the inside corner. Another excellent take. Well, that was close. another mid-90s fastball.
It didn't come back. It was straight, stayed inside.
So now it's 1-2 for Ender. And now it's 2-2 for Ender. Steckenrider is going to get out of this inning, or he's going to get beat with his best pitch. It appears in the 8th inning. 20 pitches, 11 strikes, almost all of them fastballs. Now he's ready with the 2-2. It's full.
Now Ronnie Washington with some signs for the base runners. A strikeout pitcher on the mound. Do you trust that Ender can put it in play?
We're about to find out. Markakis at first, Freeman at second. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Fouled straight back. What a cut. This old-fashioned country hardball right here. Steckenrider versus Inciarte. Another payoff pitch. And another foul ball. Great battle here.
And good pitches, too. That was right on the corner at 96.
Well, if Ender could swing slightly late and line one toward the left center field gap, he'll run forever. Again, a payoff. And again, a foul ball. This one into the camera well past the Braves dugout. You figure sooner or later he's going to throw something off speed. If he does, you hope he hangs it.
He apparently doesn't trust any of the off-speed stuff right now, at least the ability to throw it for a strike.
Too close to take, and Ender fought it off.
Ender's doing a nice job of staying back and not trying to go out and get the fastball. He's seeing it and then reacting to it.
He's about to see his 11th pitch. And here it is. Love it.
Tell you what, he's taking a good hack at it too. Anderson is shortened up in right field too.
Here we go again for Ender. Lined out of play. Didn't Brandon Belt have a 21 pitch at bat earlier this year? Ender's on pace. Number 13 is coming. Hopefully it's an unlucky number for Steckenrider. There's the off-speed pitch. He missed with it. What an at bat. Big league at bat for Ender Inciarte. Now Juan Nieves out to give Steckenrider some relief. And now the bases are loaded for the Braves, and Tyler Flowers, the scheduled hitter.
Got a double play possibility with Tyler running. Righty on righty matchup here. That's to Steckenrider's advantage. Marlins down to their last 2 mound visits.
That's about as low on the mound visits left column we've seen anybody deal with this year. So here we go. Tyler Flowers, the hitter.
He had a front row seat to all those pitches to Ender. They were all fastballs until the last one.
Flowers is 2 for 2 with a walk. Downstairs, ball 1. That was off speed.
It was, and he didn't even give a sign. Real Muto just said, like they'd already talked about it, we're going to start with this and go to that.
A leadoff walk, a single, a strikeout, now another walk for Ender. Steckenrider's about to make his 30th pitch. Wonder how much steam he has left. 1-0. There's a strike. Even count.
Tyler put a good swing on one from Garcia his last time up.
Popped up, headed for the seats. It's 1-2. This is the most pitches Steckenrider has thrown in an appearance this year. He's going to have to throw 32 at least to resolve the 8th inning. And here it is. Tyler had that covered, out of play. Junichi Tozawa's up in the Marlins pen. Dan Winkler's pitching in the Braves bullpen.
Anything but a double play. I mean, even a strikeout keeps the inning alive. But anything but a double play ball. Got a switch hitter on deck in Camargo.
Good take by Flowers. That was close. 2-2. And Real Muto with that butterfly stop covered up the 5-hole, so that couldn't sneak through. So it's 2-2 now.
A lot of wheels grinding this inning.
That's downstairs. Now he's got to throw him a strike.
Back-to-back breaking pitches or off-speed pitches, and Tyler able to lay off 2 more good takes from Atlanta, who have the lowest number of strikeouts in baseball. They're showing you why.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Swing and a shot down the left field line, but foul and into the seats. This Braves team, you go in there at your own peril. And Flowers had that covered.
Just one of those things where after all that had happened in that at bat, he knew a fastball was coming and he knew what to do with it.
See if he gets another one and can keep it fair. The 3-2 again. He walked Flowers. A bases loaded walk puts Atlanta in front.
Those were 2 big league at bats, folks. Ender and Tyler both behind in the count. Coached walks, push the Braves ahead. Great at bats.
So the old leadoff walk late comes back to haunt Miami. Atlanta has the lead. Now they look for a knockout blow, perhaps, and that's going to have to come against someone other than Drew Steckenrider, who couldn't throw his breaking ball for strikes in this inning, and then when he needed to throw a fastball for a strike, couldn't to Tyler Flowers, and that costs Miami the lead. A run is in. The bases remain loaded for Atlanta in the 8th. Tozawa versus Camargo coming up next. Miami. Hopefully we'll have a happy result for you. For the moment, Atlanta leads by a run, 6-5. The Braves just put together 3 walks, a single, and have taken the lead on a bases loaded free pass, and now they face Junichi Tozawa,
whose numbers don't look all that good, except he's averaging better than a strikeout per inning pitch. But he pitched here last night, struck out Ender, he struck out Bautista, gave up a single to Flaherty, but no runs. Low 90s fastball with a good changeup and curveball. And his numbers are actually better against left-handers than they are right-handers.
So the same scenario for Camargo that applied to Flowers. Anything but a double play ball here. A fly ball gets you a run if it's deep enough. Braves by 1, 6-5. Fans here in Miami chopping and chanting. A lot of Braves fans here for Game 3. And out of play, foul. Ender Inciarte with the 13th pitch at bat in this inning fouled off 6 consecutive 3-2 pitches until he walked on pitch number 13. Tyler Flowers drew an 8-pitch bases loaded walk against Steckenrider. So Markakis at third, Inciarte at second, Flowers at first, and Camargo in the box. There's a butterfly ball, and Camargo couldn't hit it. 0-2. Ryan Flaherty's on deck for Atlanta, looking for his second at bat of the game. He replaced Bautista after Jose hit a home run to tie it at 5. The pitch to Johan moves him off the plate.
Same thing applies to Camargo here, left-handed as it did right-handed. Try to stay in there a little longer. Don't pull off the ball. Nice stop by Realmuto. Here are those splits I was talking about. Oh, those are actually Johan's. Beg your pardon. Better for him from this side for sure.
Well, let's see what Tozawa has in store with a 2-2 count. A breaking ball, and he took it. So here we go again. Tozawa has to throw a strike.
On this guy, especially because of his changeup that's so effective on lefties, you've got to think middle away and react to anything inside.
So here we go. Payoff pitch. Popped him up. Realmuto gives chase over near the screen. He won't have a play.
Wow, hit right on top of the screen.
So a sigh of relief for Camargo. He gets another swing here. Right-hander ready. Here comes his 3-2. Downstairs, another bases loaded walk. How about the patience of Inciarte, Flowers, and Camargo?
That's just unbelievable. Big league hitters who want to drive in the runs, want to put the team on top, and they're able to lay off 3 real close borderline calls, none of which were complained about by Realmuto.
Boy, Kevin Seitzer has to be proud of his Braves batsman in the 8th inning. Big time quality at bats. So it's a 2-run lead. Now Flaherty's up. And Tazawa has to start over. Braves have 4 walks in the inning. And out of play a strike.
Wasn't even close. In the dirt. Change up. His best pitch. And couldn't place it. What an inning.
All started with a Freeman walk.
1 hit in the inning. And that was Markakis, who dumped one in front of Anderson.
0-1 for Flaherty. And now 0-2.
Got him right where we want him.
Right. It's been kind of the theme tonight. Starting pitchers for the Marlins and Braves, Soroka and Garcia, had some 2-strike hits. Marlins haven't been able to finish off Braves when they get to 2 strikes here in the 8th. Now Flaherty's got to dig out of a 2-strike hole. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here it is. Did he go? No swing. In the Miami 8th, they'll have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up. Question is, how big will the Braves lead be? Way high from 0-2. Now it's 2-2.
He may have been distracted by Ender there. Inciarte made a little bit of a jerky bluff over there. May have gotten his attention. But just like with Camargo, cover that outer half.
Well, the Braves are fouling off some tough pitches this inning. And Tazawa's going to have to throw 13 at least here in the 8th inning. Inciarte, Flowers, and Camargo are the Braves runners. Flaherty digs in. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. Strike 3. There's the second out. But it doesn't get any easier for Tazawa. Now he's got to face Albies with his 12 homers.
Outer half, outer corner. Got to have that covered when you're behind in the count.
So Ozzie 0 for 4. He's got an 8-game hitting streak on the line. He's about to see the 50th pitch thrown by the Marlins in this inning. And upstairs, ball 1. See if it's tough for Tazawa to get the ball down for Ozzie Albies. 1 ball, no strikes. Fouled back up and above the screen.
Had a rip at that. Grand slam here the other night. Just clearing the fence. How about another?
I wonder if that young fan that was so happy with his home run last night is watching tonight. Perhaps we'll find out. The 1-1 pitch for Albies. Here it is. Popped up. And Bohr in foul ground is going to have room on the warning track, and he puts it away to retire the side. But the Braves saw 53 pitches in the 8th inning. They got 2 bases loaded walks to take a 7-5 lead. Approach. They drew a couple of bases loaded walks to take a 7-5 lead. Now Dan Winkler is on for the bottom part of the Miami order. Here in the 8th inning, it starts with Derek Dietrich.
He gave up a hit the other night in his last time out against Tampa Bay. It's the first time he'd given up a hit in as far as anyone can remember. Let's hope he's back on track again tonight. Right-handers 2 for 32 against him for the year.
Lefties are only 4 for 20. And he starts with Dietrich, who had a 3-run double his first time up. Ball 1. No drama, 8th inning. Get the first guy. And have a shutdown inning.
He's had some trouble with the first guy. Only 10 of 17.
And he's quickly behind 0-2. Excuse me, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. I beg your pardon for Dietrich. There's a strike. 2-1. That's popped into the seats. And Dan's back in it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nice crowd here tonight. Haven't got the attendance figures on Star Wars night. Marlins drew 9,100 fans here last night, 8,200 on Thursday. That's tipped off Flowers' glove. He had it by him, but Tyler couldn't hang on. Tough break. We'll try again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hit a good pitch, though.
The 2-2 again. Dietrich had it covered. Stays alive.
Spoiled it. Nice pitch again.
Another 2-2. Dietrich pops this one up, headed for the seats. Now he's starting to get in on the Ender Inciarte fun with Dan Winkler.
And again fouled off a tough pitch. Slider in on his hands.
Dietrich's always been a tough out for the Braves. He's proving to be one here, starting their 8th inning. Eric Dietrich, a career .285 hitter against Atlanta, 7 homers, 20 RBIs, 15 walks. That was before his 3-run double. And that just missed. So Winkler now a full count to Dietrich. Don't want to walk in.
No, you got to make him hit his way on.
He's only walked 3 times. He struck out 38 times. To second. Ozzie gives ground and makes a nice play. Sharply hit. 1 out.
That's what you're hoping for, is if you throw a strike and they make contact, they'll hit it at somebody, and that was belt tied down the middle. And with a 2-run lead, that's the smartest thing to do. Came on the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Rojas 1 for 3. He singled on an 0-2 pitch off Mike Soroka in the 4th inning. Now here's where you really like Winkler's chances. As you said, Joe, right-handers have had virtually no chance against this guy all year. They're 2 for 32. Popped up down the right field line. Markakis will give chase, but won't have a play. Can't say enough about what Dan Winkler is doing on the mound and what Dan Winkler has been able to come back for, or from, I should say. Fractured his elbow on April 10th in 2016 against the Cardinals. Had a medial epicondyle avulsion fracture. He's also come back from Tommy John surgery. So career-threatening injuries in back-to-back years for Dan Winkler. As this one's dumped down the right field line. Great try by Freeman. Off-balance throw to second is going to be a lot closer than it should have been. Great effort by Freddie Freeman. The ball hit no man's land, and Rojas never stopped running. And he is in safely with a 1-out bloop double, his 2nd hit of the game.
Freddie's got a good arm. He just couldn't stop his momentum. He was running so hard going out toward right field. Then he had a good shot at Rojas. They've been able to plant and throw.
Well, here's Brinson. He is a strikeout candidate. He hasn't struck out tonight, however. He's 1 for 3. The hit, an infield hit back in the 6th. Strike 1. Tazawa's spot is due next. I think Cameron Maben's grabbed a bat and is on deck. Nothing in 1. Nothing in 2. How about that stop with a backhand?
Yeah, and then he scared Rojas to death. Thought he was going to throw down there.
1 on, 1 out. 2-run Atlanta lead. Miami batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back and forth we've gone a couple of times tonight. Braves led 1-0, 2-1, 4-1, trailed 5-4. Got it tied 5-5, took the lead in the 8th. Ground ball to second. Albies has it. Runner to third, 2 outs.
That was a little bit of a tricky hop for Ozzie.
So Maben the final Marlins hope in the 8th inning. Rojas at third. Flowers has to be on his toes in case Winkler throws a slider in the dirt here. Maben got off to a 2-for-30 start. He's hitting much better than that. 292 since in his last 18 games. And he just took a strike.
1 for 5 as a pinch hitter.
It's a second go round with Miami. Played here from 2008 to 2010. A little pop into center field that Ender's going to catch, and Winkler works around the 1-out double. Atlanta preserves a 2-run lead. We go to the 9th. At 12:30 over on Fox Sports South. It streams live on Fox Sports Go. Sean Newcomb, who has been magnificent his last 3 or 4 starts, faces Jose Urena, who is winless on the year for Miami. The Braves hope those 2 trends continue as we wrap up our first series of the season with our friends here in Miami. Good work by Dan Winkler to get out of the Miami 8th. Braves go to work at the plate in the 9th, trying to add to a 2-run lead, and they'll try to do that against Tyler Cloyd, who's been roughed up in his early going.
Yeah, he's only been in 3 games, but those numbers tell you he's had a rough go of it. Went to the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Born in Papillion, a suburb of Omaha. Fastball in the high 80s, low 90s. A lot of cutters. Curveball, changeup. 30 years old. Spent most of his career in the Phillies organization. Last year was in the big leagues for 1 game with Seattle, and the Marlins signed him to a minor league free agent at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, in 2017, Joe, he started the year in the Independent Atlantic League and made his way to the big leagues. He's even pitched a season in Korea where he was a starting pitcher with the Samsung Club in 2015. I'll give him credit. He's not willing to let the dream die, and he's got a chance to pitch in the big leagues here in Miami. Braves have Acuna, Freeman, and Markakis coming up. Atlanta sent 8 to the plate in the 8th, scored twice on 2 bases loaded walks.
Yeah, that was an amazing inning. 1 hit.
Yeah, if you're a 3-outcome baseball fan, that was your inning. You got 2 of the 3 strikeouts and walks. But Atlanta will take it, leading 7-5. And Acuna takes outside. Ball 2.
Maybe lay off the slider, then lay off the cutter.
Some sweet little fans are sitting below us. Can you hear them? Please hit it back here, they're chanting.
They've been vocal all night.
Three balls, 2 strikes. And fouled past Ron Washington. Yeah, a couple of fans have their baseball gloves. They've had about 7 boxes of popcorn, a half a bag of peanuts, some cotton candy residues on the table. They are wired and ready for sound. They got their gloves and they are die-hard Marlins fans having a good time tonight. So great to see the young fans at the ballpark. 3-2 pitch. And Acuna caught looking. He's down on strikes. 1 away in the 9th. Waddle 1 for 5 in the game. And here's Freddie Freeman. 2 homers, a walk. He's scored 3 runs. He's knocked in 3 runs. A virtual one-man wrecking crew for the Braves tonight. Line into left field, a base hit for Freeman. He continues to destroy Marlins pitching in this series.
Backdoor cutter. Took it the other way. He's 8 for 12 in the series. 3 homers.
So Nick Markakis will get another chance. Nick now with a 4-game hitting streak. He's 1 for 4 and scored the 7th Atlanta run thanks to that bases loaded walk. One ball, no strikes for Markakis. And low and away, ball 2. Cloyd ready with his 2-0 pitch. And while the kids continue to holler for that foul ball back toward us, the adults that are sitting around him are looking for cotton balls, earplugs,
and another beer.
Yeah. Fortunately for them, that stopped about 2 innings ago. 3 balls, no strikes. I mean, there are 2 guys that are sitting right below us, and their chins are at their chest, just like, dear God, make it stop. Three balls and a strike. Line into right field. That's down for a base hit. Look at Freddie run. The throw coming to third base. It's a beautiful throw. What a throw by Anderson on a hard hit ball to right. He throws a laser to gun out Freddie Freeman at third base. That's a big league throw.
Big arm. Third baseman fielded it cleanly, came up firing, and threw it on the fly to third base. Got him by a mile. Heck of a play.
That's as good as it gets right there, folks. Beautiful play.
Had to go to his left to field it a little bit too.
So Charlie Culberson's going to be the Atlanta pinch hitter. He bats for Winkler. Markakis at first now with 2 outs. Hits are even, 10 apiece. Errors are even, 1 apiece. Atlanta leads where it counts in the run column, 7-5. When we get to the bottom of the 9th inning, Miami will have Realmuto, Prado, and Castro coming up. Fly ball hit toward left. Dietrich broke in, now breaks back, can't recover. It's over his head and up against the wall. Markakis will come around and score. Throw to third is going to be late, and the Marlins give the Braves a gift run in the 9th inning as Dietrich misjudged a fly ball off the bat of Charlie Culberson. How about that?
Another infielder playing the outfield really misjudged this. Came in and wouldn't take his eye off of it as he was continuing to backpedal on it. Helpless feeling.
So Culberson with a pinch hit triple and an RBI gives the Braves a 3-run lead. And Ender didn't get it. Strike 1. Three hits surrendered by Cloyd in the inning. There are 2 outs. And a high fly ball hammered to right. Anderson's not getting that, baby. It's out of here. A home run. Number 2 for Ender Inciarte, and the Braves busted open in the 8th and 9th. How many times have we seen Atlanta do this?
Late inning team, 2-out team. Short, quick stroke here by Ender. Ball jumped and just cleared the fence. Low line drive, and Cloyd's troubles continue. Although Dietrich has pushed him into this area of the ball game after misjudging the fly ball.
On I count 6 more 2-out runs for Atlanta in this game. 17 of their 22 in the series have come with 2 outs. As Tyler Flowers hits one toward the right field corner that Anderson will track down, and that will retire the side. Now, misplayed fly ball leads to a triple, an RBI, and then an Ender 2-run homer. plate, and he promptly hit a 2-run homer, part of a 3-run Atlanta ninth, pushing the Atlanta advantage now to 5 runs for Arodys Vizcaíno,
who was up ready to come in a safe situation, but it blew up into something in a non-safe situation. And by my count, Chip, A.J. Minter's in line for his first big league win. 0-1 last year.
So JT Realmuto the batter. Realmuto 1 for 4, a 3rd inning double. He'll take a 9-game home hitting streak into action tomorrow against Sean Newcomb. Might see Realmuto play first base tomorrow with a left-hander on the mound instead of Justin Bour. We'll see what Don Mattingly has in store for Miami. 10 runs, 12 hits for Atlanta. Another double-digit hitting performance for the Braves. I think that's their 17th 10-plus hit game this year. It is the 17th time this year the Braves have had double-digit hits. Fouled straight back by Realmuto.
They're so good too, Chip, at taking advantage of other teams' mistakes. You give them an extra out or two, they'll parlay that into a big inning.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Realmuto is down swinging. There's the first out of the 9th inning.
Weird how it works, but Dietrich had the big hit for the Marlins earlier tonight. As Realmuto swings through that hanging curveball, he drove in 3 runs, and then his misplay leads to 3 runs.
Martin Prado with 1 out. Martin scored a run in the Marlins' 4-run 5th, and he's pushed off the plate. Ball 2. Atlanta can get 2 more outs with this lead. They'll have a full 1-game lead over the Phillies. Phillies and Mets were rained out. Braves are gunning for their 23rd win tonight. Go. He did. Braves won their 23rd game last year on June the 3rd.
No comparison to the way this team's playing now versus the way it was playing last year. To the personnel, to the attitude, to the energy. It's a better ball club.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And popped up right side. Long run, Freddie again. He nearly overran it, but made a basket catch over his shoulder. Let's not forget how good a defender Freddie Freeman is. We always talk about what he does with the bat. How many errors has he saved? How many outs has he recorded making plays just like that in a Braves uniform?
Well, he got some practice on that one. He had some practice on Rojas a minute ago. Made that look easy.
So here's Castro, the final hope for Miami. 2-hit night for Starlin. He scored 2 runs. got a piece of flowers on the way by. Strike one. Funny game too. We've talked a lot about how good.
Like he hurt himself on that.
Atlanta's offense has been with runners in scoring position. Their one hit with a man in scoring position was Ender's home run ball.
Ooh, jumping out of the way. Felt that in his back.
1-1 pitch. Turned it loose to make sure and didn't get it. Now the Braves are a strike away. He's still feeling it. The 1-2 pitch from Vizcaino. Hit high in the air to left. Acuna is under it. He's there. He's got it. And the Braves win 10-5 tonight. A huge night for Freddie Freeman. 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs. Ender Inciarte hit a 2-run homer. And the Braves, with an incredibly patient 50-plus pitch 8th inning, drew 2 bases loaded walks to take the lead. Joe, a lead they did not give up tonight.
Well, you like the way they were swinging the bat early. It's just that after that, all those unearned runs scored in the 5th inning, you began to wonder if they were going to have another comeback at them, and they certainly did.
So Atlanta wins game number 23 on the season. They're a game up in the East and a chance to win the series outright against Miami tomorrow. Newcomb versus